what sets off the panic. Because everyone's been at the breakdown. If a teacher tells you 2 or 3 planes, say, excuse me, 4 planes struck America, changed the whole world. Most American teachers think 3 planes. 2 hit New York, the 4th one hits the field in Pennsylvania. The 3rd one hits the Pentagon. 2 hit New York, changed everything for everybody. Prices, attitude, safety, prayers, everything changed for them.
Cualquier cosa que tiene mucha gente parecido a los humanos haciendo la misma cosa, como la gente funciona en el ejército, como en la guerra, que no pueden pensar por su propio, nada más que siguen a los otros. Porque la gente sí no hace nada y reciben mensajes y creen eso y tienen que pensar por su propio. Esa es la necesidad de la humanidad. Es para pensar.
Absolutely not.
To show our children that they do have a potential to show their objections to the administration policies, that it's their civic responsibility to do so, as well as their moral obligation to do so.
Anybody with a brain that this war is wrong and it can be stopped, and it may take a while, but we're showing up to say that it is an immoral, illegal action, and many Americans do not support it.
Because President Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction inside Iraq, and he took my nation into war over a lie. And I don't believe in that.
To me, that's one of the biggest messages we need to get out, particularly when George Bush has gone worldwide with this takeover regime of his.
That George Bush is the worst president that we ever had, and I think that we should impeach him, and I think that we don't have a true democracy here in the United States.
What democracy? Oh, our system of voting? No. Is it really democratic? No. Not by any stretch. No, large numbers were kept out of the voting booths to ensure Bush's coup d'etat.
So we have the best money, the best government money can buy, unfortunately.
That it's a lie, that it's illegal, that he got elected illegally for a second time?
We think that our democracy is in trouble, and we're here because, especially after the hurricane, it's become increasingly clear that our government has no one's interests in their hearts but their own.
I think that there is democracy for people who have money and own land. I think that women and people in color are all disenfranchised.
There's no democracy here, and there's no democracy in Iraq. You know, it's all a fallacy.
It's corporate greed controlling the government. It's not the people controlling the government anymore. It's Exxon, it's the oil companies, it's Bechtel, it's Halliburton. The corporations have to stop this shit.
Now, no, this is what it is now. The corporate state, the Commerce Department, the United States Department of Commerce controls what's happening in this country and the world. End globalization.
lot of evil things to people from the beginning of your existence in this land, and you're still committing evil acts.
Yes.
You need, Sam, to stop telling the American people that the only reason that other people want to take your head is because they're jealous of your good looks and your material possession. The problem is you want to mold humanity in your image, and you're not Almighty God. You don't want people to possess their own material goods unless they buy them from you or your business partner. The international conglomerations of corporate devil. And the problem is that our sons and daughters are the ones who pay the price for your arrogant error.
All points stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
A man who traffics in deadly lies. The front man for an administration who came into office with the intention of taking out Saddam and becoming an occupying force in Iraq. Members of the Project for the New American Century who promote an ideology of U.S. domination through the use of force, who have imposed their politics of scorch and burn on the American people and made us complicit against our will in their regime of shame.
our national interests are wars worth fighting. A war choice in Iraq is built upon lies. A house built on sand. 2,100 Americans dead. Tens of thousands of Iraqis dead. 20 billion later, we deserve peace and justice. Home now! Bring the troops home now! Bring the troops home now!
Militarism, the violence, the guns, everything about what we ask our military people to do is the opposite of democracy and freedom. They practice for war, we have to practice for peace.
Today, a soldier sees a snapshot of the terrain, a pilot an image of the airspace, the commander a view of the mission. But they're all part of a bigger picture. That's why Boeing is helping create a remarkable network to gather and analyze data from every source, then deliver the right information instantly. So the bigger picture is a safer world. Boeing, forever new frontiers.
Got an ID match for rover on level 1.
I feel that New Orleans and Iraq are linked because I think that this administration really only cares about the interests of the wealthy and the powerful, and both the people of Iraq and New Orleans are worthless to them. The poor people of the world really need to become a priority, not as a source of resources or a place to bomb, but as human beings. And we need to change our priorities and start caring for people.
The Bush administration has deserted 45 million Americans with no health care. They've abandoned 37 million Americans to poverty here in the richest nation in the world.
I've been in Iraq for 5 times. The first time I went was before we invaded. And it was already hell because of what we had done with the sanctions for all those many years. And we really invaded a broken country that we had broken enough so that we could invade and look like heroes. you know, what I found in Iraq was a very generous, kind, considerate, heartful people. You meet them, it's salam alaikum, you know, here's my heart, bless you, is, you know, crime against humanity.
We're using depleted uranium. We did it in '91, and we're doing it now. And it's causing birth defects, not just in Iraq. We're having birth defects of our own veterans. As far as the torture from the very beginning, when we were there July, right after the invasion, the Red Cross, everyone there knew that torture was already going on in the prisons. We tried to get in, we were held back from getting in. They continued to keep that private, and I think we haven't heard that story fully yet.
Hebrews 11:1 says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That there is some child in Iraq who is huddling and afraid because of bombs. That there is some child in Palestine who does not understand why they live the way that they live. That there is some child in Anacostia in Southeast DC who is waiting on us to engage in such a way that we might transform America.
Tell the truth about this war! Stop this war! It's senseless! It's ungodly expensive! You're bankrupting the country financially and morally!
Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war!